Marco Silva could be the next manager sacked this season. We don't know. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dominic Rich. If you're new around here, consider hitting the subscribe button because I'll be talking about the English Premier League all season long. It's the best league in the entire world. Do not debate it because I saw La Liga and I wasn't impressed. German Bundesliga, wasn't impressed. Italian League, not even impressed. It's boring. Premier League is where it's at. So let's talk about week 7 of the English Premier League. Let's run through all the 8 fixtures that were played on Saturday, September the 28th. There's a match tomorrow between Leicester City and Newcastle, and one on Monday between Arsenal and Manchester United. But we ain't going to talk about those. We're going to talk about the completed ones. Liverpool 1, Sheffield United 0. 78-minute goal by Gini Wijnaldum, burst into the hands of goalkeeper Dean Henderson, who is there on loan from Manchester United. So, even him sum up how Manchester United are playing right now. Terrible, terrible football. But Liverpool barely picked up that 3 points, but well deserved in the end because they did create some big chances, didn't take them. You know, Sheffield, they got numbers behind the ball. They put on a really good performance. I think they deserve to pick up a point from this game, but their strikers aren't clinical enough. So, you know what? I take that back. They didn't deserve a single point from that game. So, Liverpool wins 7-7, and they continue their march in the quest to win their first ever Premier League title. Well, we're talking about the Premier League era here. So you smarty pantses don't come on here talking about, Liverpool won the English Premier League before. They never won the Premier League, okay? And did I say pantses? I mean smarty pants, whatever. You get the point. But Crystal Palace 2, Norwich City 0. Norwich did get their chances to score. They did not take them. Pukki wasn't his best. Todd Cantwell wasn't his best. So the goals for Crystal Palace were scored by Milivojevic. That was a penalty in the 21st minute. And then Townsend scored a late one in the 2nd minute of extra time. So big win for Roy Hodgson and Palace. When I'm done, I'll run through the league table, though. I don't want to talk about that right now. Then Aston Villa 2. Burnley 2. Aston Villa, you should have won that game, but it's really good of Burnley to come back. They were down, I think, twice, and they came back. Chris Wood with his 3rd goal of the season. 3rd goal in 2 games. Like, Chris Wood is picking form now, and it seems like Ashley Barnes, isn't scoring them like he was at the beginning of the season. So, in this game, El Ghazi opened the scoring for Aston Villa in the 33rd minute. I think there was a goal by John McGinn chalked off by VAR as well, offside. So VAR had a say in this game. Then J. Rodriguez scored a brilliant goal in the 68th minute. And then McGinn scored in the 79th to put Aston Villa up. And he celebrated by telling them, review that one. And they couldn't because he was onside. And then the big New Zealander, Chris Wood, picked up the 1 point for Burnley. I think this is the 2nd time they're scoring a late goal to pick up a draw. So Burnley, they're rallying. They're rallying. Very, very gritty team. So that game ended in a 2-2 draw. Very exciting game, though. I saw the highlights for everything, by the way, guys. So I know what exactly happened. I couldn't have watched all the game. It's not possible. Unless I'm watching like a goal session or something. But it wasn't possible. Then Bournemouth 2, West Ham 2. Bournemouth should have won that game. They had way too many chances that they failed to put away. No Fabianski in goal today for West Ham either. So they should be lucky that they picked up a point there. Yarmolenko scored in the 10th minute, his 3rd goal of the season, his 2nd in consecutive games. He's on fire. The Ukrainian is on. Guys, I told you about Ukraine, man. They've been playing good. Yarmolenko, Konoplyanka, Zinchenko, Matvienko, Malinovsky, Shigankov. These guys are on course to qualify for the World Cup. I do think so. Don't know why I'm talking about Ukraine qualifying for the World Cup, but they have been in really good form, though. And, with Yarmolenko back in the fold, it's good for them. So, then Joshua King scored 7 minutes. That was weird. Joshua King scored seven minutes later to open the scoring for Bournemouth, equalized, and then Callum Wilson put them up ahead in the 46th minute. King Wilson has been the go-to man for Bournemouth. I think that was Joshua King's 50th Premier League goal as well. So these two guys have been on fire. And then Aaron Cresswell equalized for West Ham in the 74th minute. So Yarmolenko and Cresswell both scoring in consecutive games. Cresswell didn't score in 18 months, and now he's scoring in back-to-back games. Guys, the game is very, very funny, man. Anything could happen at any time. It just shows you that you should never, ever give up. Just keep trying. Just keep trying. So, 1 point each, and I think that's a well-deserved 1 point each for both teams. West Ham for fighting, and Bournemouth only deserves a point for not killing off the game. Then we had Wolves picking up their first Premier League win of the season with a 2-0 win over hapless Watford, who are coming off of an 8-0 spanking by the hands of Manchester City, of course. Dougherty scored in the 18th minute, and then Jan Mart put the nail in his own coffin by scoring an own goal in the 61st. Watford did get their chances, but they look like a team who are destined for relegation this season. Believe it, I did predict Watford to go down last season, and they survived. Then Tottenham Hotspur 2, Southampton 1. Tottenham went down to 10 men early on in the game. 31st minute, Serge Aurier, but that's just after they had scored that opening goal to Tanguy Ndombele. What a freaking left-footed goal, man. That's a good goal. I think he has now scored 2 or 3 times for Tottenham, and they have all been stunners. So great signing, man. That's the record signing as well. So after Tanguy Ndombele scored and then Aurier got sent off, Danny Ings scored in the 39th minute. It was via a terrible goalkeeping error by Hugo Lloris. He had a brain fart. And Danny Ings, I think this is actually his second Premier League goal that he's scoring from goalkeeping errors. One against Liverpool when Adrian made that stupid error. And now Hugo Lloris, I don't know what he was thinking. He had enough time to clear the ball and he tried to dribble. And he got the ball stolen away from him. So Ings pounced on it and bam, equalized. Then Harry Kane scored in the 43rd minute to give Tottenham the lead and the win. It was a really good build-up to that goal. And the fact that they were only playing with 10 men and they were still able to put together such kind of play, amazing stuff, man. Amazing stuff by Tottenham. This would do a whole lot of good for Pochettino and his boys. They're not doing too well over there right now. Chelsea 2, Brighton 1, courtesy of a 50th minute penalty by Jorginho and a 76th minute goal scored by Willian. His first for the season. His first in like 25 games or so. Willian hasn't been in very good form, but Chelsea should have won this game at least 10-0. They had way too many chances that they didn't score. 24 shots at goal, 10 on target, comparing to Brighton's 8 shots at goal, 1 single shot on target. This was also Frank Lampard's first win at home this season and his first clean sheet kept this season. So good stuff, man. Good stuff. Things are looking on the up for Chelsea and Lampard. And the final game I want to discuss, Everton 1, Manchester City 3. It was the best game of the day by far. It was one of the most exciting City games that I've seen in a very, very long time. Well, Premier League matches, because it wasn't a one-sided game at all. And we know most of the times when, and note I said most of the times when Manchester City plays, it's a one-sided game, but it wasn't the case at all today on the Merseyside. It wasn't. Pep Guardiola chose to go in with his usual 4-3-3 formation. Edison in goal, who had a brilliant game. If it wasn't for Edison, we might have lost the game or even dropped points. And I didn't want to drop points against Everton or no other team. I don't want to drop points at all. I just can't take coming on here to make the video about us dropping points or losing and you guys just keep, you know, I can't deal with that. I really can't deal with that. Especially if it's on a day where Liverpool pick up 3 points. I just can't deal with that. So I'm a very relieved, man, that we picked up a full 3 points, and it was courtesy of Edison pulling off some huge saves there, man. I could remember 2 big saves from Yerry Mina, corner, headers. We haven't been dealing with these corners well at all. We don't have a very tall team, and the other teams have been exploiting us in set piece situations. So that's something that we definitely need to work on. Are you listening, Pep Guardiola? Are you listening? But we don't really have any center backs right now because Fernandinho played center back and Nicolas Otamendi. Everton scored via a Fernandinho error today. Error, like Fernandinho, you're not so error prone, but today you did it, man. A very weak left-footed clearance fell nicely to the Everton play. He passed it back in, and Seamus Coleman, who was working very hard, got the ball past both Edison and the charging Nicolas Otamendi, and then Dominic Calvert-Lewin did the rest to head it past the goal line. It was going to go in, so he definitely stole that goal from Seamus Coleman, who had a great freaking game today. But Dominic Calvert-Lewin needed the goal most because he has been going through somewhat of a dry spot, but he has scored in his last few games. So good stuff from the young English striker there. Then we had Zinchenko at left back. Why is Pep Guardiola persistent with Zinchenko? I really don't know. He is one of the weakest spots in this team, and he could have cost us the game today, giving away needless free kicks and giving away needless throw-ins and corners. Like Zinchenko, you have to do much better than this. You're not a left back. Pep Guardiola, we now have the left backs and the other fullbacks fit. Play them in the right position, please. Zinchenko is a liability at left back. He is being exploited on way too many occasions. Teams are figuring this thing out. Like, we cannot persist with this Zinchenko thing. Like, I know Zinchenko has been really good for City over the last 2 seasons or so, but come on, guys. He was just, a replacement for the injured Mendy. We don't need to be persistent with him. Mendy is fit. We have Angelino. We have Cancelo. All these guys could play in this position. And at right back, Kyle Walker, he worked very, very hard on the day, but he wasn't really so effective going forward. And I want Kyle Walker to be way more effective in attack. Better in defense, but I want him to be way more effective going forward. Maybe like how Trent Alexander-Arnold is. Or maybe I'm just asking for way too much. And just above the defenders, Rodri. He has slotted into this team so nicely and is becoming one of our most important players. Just above him, Kevin De Bruyne and Ilkay Gundogan. Kevin De Bruyne picking up his 8 assists in 7 games this season, man. The man is so freaking good. World class. That's why he's the highest rated FIFA card in FIFA 20. Like, come on, it's a no-brainer. Kevin De Bruyne, like, the man is just putting them on a tee for the strikers. Ilkay Gundogan had a really good chance to score early on in the game, but he hit the crossbar. I don't know how he managed to do that. And then there was Riyad Mahrez, man of the match by far. I think he picked up an assist and scored that free kick to give us the lead. And I was like, guys, I celebrated so hard when Riyad Mahrez scored that goal. It was like, it felt so good. It was so freaking euphoric, man, because we deserve the lead, but Everton really pushed us hard in this game. Everton, you played well. Despite you losing 4 of your last 5 games, and Marco Silva is under a lot of pressure right now, you played well. You played well against the back-to-back champions. But Riyad Mahrez, man, he has come back to his Leicester form and everything, and the Algerian International African Cup of Nations winner has been on fire in the last 3 games. He has been scoring, he has been picking up a lot of assists, and those crosses, man. Oh, man. Riyad Mahrez, man, thank you very much. Thank you very much for being patient and waiting for your turn, because your time is now. Thank you very much, Riyad Mahrez. Gabriel Jesus started instead of Sergio Aguero, and Jesus picked up another goal today. That was a brilliant header, man. What a ball by Kevin De Bruyne. Oh, my God. And Gabriel Jesus in full flight. He was actually airborne when he headed that ball past Jordan Pickford, man. Brilliant goal to open the scoring today. And last but not least, Raheem Sterling did not have the best of games in my opinion, but he did make amends and scored the third goal before he came off. That was a brilliant shot too, which was determined by goal line technology. Off the bench came David Silva, Bernardo Silva, and Sergio Aguero. This team has so much depth, it's simply ridiculous. Bernardo not playing, David Silva not playing, Aguero not starting, well I should say starting, and the team is still freaking good. This is just simply ridiculous. Not many Premier League teams can do this kind of rotation and still come out to win games like this. This was a highly competitive game. No team has troubled us in terms of shots on goal like Everton did today. They just simply troubled us in this game. I was nervous. I'm not even gonna lie, I was nervous. I know the Liverpool fans are saying that Everton weren't gonna do them any favors and take points off us, but Everton needed to do themselves a favor and pick up points because they are struggling. They're really struggling. Marco Silva could be the next manager sacked this season. We don't know. But I think they put out a very, very good performance. They were brave. They took the game to us and they almost picked up a point or even a victory. And before I forget to mention, I hope Theo Walcott is okay because he had to go off in the first minute of the game after being struck in the head by a Raheem Sterling shot or a cross, whatever he tried to do there. So I hope that Theo Walcott is okay. You know, you never want to see your player or an opposition player in such distress. Never. You never want to see that. So guys, to give you a quick recap of the Premier League table, Liverpool first, 21 points, perfect score so far. Man City second, 16 points, 5 points behind Liverpool. Third, West Ham United with 12 points. Then there's a whole lot of teams on 11 points with Tottenham 4th, Leicester 5th, Chelsea 6th, Bournemouth 7th, Arsenal 8th, and Crystal Palace 9th, all with 11 points. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to skip through all the middle teams and go down to the bottom where we have Watford at the bottom. 2 points. Oh man, it seems like Watford are going to get relegated. Newcastle 19th, 5 points. Aston Villa 18th, 5 points. Norwich City 17th with 6 points. Brighton 16th, 6 points. Everton, they're still in a respectable position, 15th with 7 points. Then there's Southampton in 14th with 7 points. Wolves only picking up their first win. And I told you guys we shouldn't worry about Wolves. They're a very, very good team and they will pick up form sooner rather than later. And they picked up their first win. Sheffield United 12th, 8 points. Man United 11th, 8 points. And Burnley 10th, 9 points. And I already went through the other teams. So it's still early times in the English Premier League. Only 7 games gone, 31 matches to go. The season isn't even 25% done. So guys, we can't really predict. We can't really assume anything as yet. But it's a great start by Liverpool. Okay start by City, and teams like West Ham and Bournemouth, Leicester City are looking good, while Man United and Tottenham, Arsenal did not really start the season off too well. Let's not even mention Watford and the teams down at the bottom. They have a lot of work to do. But I'm happy with what we did today against Everton. Pep Guardiola will definitely be happy as well. The team was put to the test and we came out victors. I know we are going to win the Premier League this season. I know Liverpool and their fans are going to be heartbroken once again. But guys, it's late. I just wanted to do a recap of match week 7. I really enjoy doing this whole Premier League thing and talking with you guys. So if you're new around here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Leave the video a big thumbs up. And in the comment section down below, shed some light on any of the fixtures you feel like. So, from your boy Dominic Rich, I'd like to say thanks for watching. Peace out. Rich Squad.